You won't believe this, but Atletico Madrid is probably the best team in La Liga right now.
What a run.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Atleti are on 100% record in their last 11 games, scoring 31 goals and 7 goals against.
They just absolutely demolished Barcelona, led by Hansi Flick. Everyone thought that Barcelona had this in the bag. I mean, they had beaten Atletico in their last 5 encounters and have been in phenomenal form this season. But then, the game took a dramatic twist. Barcelona struck first, looking like their usual unstoppable selves. But Atletico? Oh, they had other plans. They pulled off a jaw-dropping comeback, scoring late to seal the win. It was a nail-biter. One of those games where you're on the edge of your seat until the very end. For Barcelona fans, that loss must have been a tough pill to swallow. But honestly, can we talk about Atletico? They're on another level right now. 12 straight wins in La Liga. 12. It's unreal. And they're not just bossing the domestic league. They're tearing it up in the Champions League too. The crazy part? You wouldn't have seen this coming earlier in the season.
Atletico Madrid was not even in the picture. And when I say they weren't in the picture, I'm talking, here's the picture, they were over there. They were not in the picture.
Sure, they had some good moments, but there were those games where they just looked off, dropping points against weaker sides, struggling to find consistency, and then fell to Real Betis. At that point, it felt like the wheels were coming off. It was a rough patch, no doubt about it. But then something flipped. Atletico caught fire. They've been unstoppable ever since. Antoine Griezmann, Julian Alvarez, Alexander Sørloth, this team is terrifying right now. Under Diego Simeone, they're back to their 2021 best, steamrolling teams with confidence and precision. Simone's new, more direct style has transformed them into a goal-scoring machine. So you might be wondering, why aren't they being considered serious title contenders?
Atletico Madrid is going to go on to win this title. They're going to have to win games like this. When it came down to making the big play in the big moment, they did it and Barcelona did not.
You see, after a couple of seasons without a major trophy, Atletico Madrid knew it was time to make some big changes. The summer transfer window became their stage, a last chance to rebuild and reclaim their place in Europe's elite. This is a club with a rich history, Championship League finals, La Liga titles. They weren't going to settle for mediocrity. But rebuilding comes with a cost. To bring in new faces, they had to let go of some players who weren't cutting it. Their biggest move? Selling João Felix. If we were being honest, it felt like Simeone had been waiting for this moment. Remember when Atletico signed Felix from Benfica? They paid a jaw-dropping fee, expecting him to be their next superstar, their poster boy. And sure, he had his moments, especially during the La Liga winning season, but he never fully delivered on the hype. And then there were these issues behind the scenes. Felix and Simeone, they just didn't see the game the same way. It all came to a boiling point when Felix, on loan to Barcelona, played against Atletico and pulled off that moment. Talk about disrespect. But here's the thing. Simeone thrives on players who embody grit, intensity, and relentless effort. His team is built on warriors, not artists. And Felix, he's all about flair and finesse. A creative genius, but not the fighter Atletico demands. The loans were a temporary fix, but the club finally cut ties. It was a huge financial hit, but it opened the door to reshaping the squad. To raise even more funds, they sold players like Samu, Soyuncu, Depay, Morata, and Savic, and then they went all in. For the first time in years, Atletico spent big, really big. They brought in talents like Julian Alvarez, Conor Gallagher, Robin Lenormand, and Alexander Sørloth.
We were expecting to see probably that version of Atletico. It took them a little bit. I think it's normal with so many new signings coming from.
Julian Alvarez was Atletico Madrid's first big signing after João Felix departed. They spent a staggering 75 million on him, a fee that could rise to 95 million. With Felix and Morata gone, they desperately needed a top-class striker to partner with Griezmann. And who better than a young Argentinian who's been a winner at every stage of his career? Think back to Argentina's World Cup triumph. Alvarez was a star. He scored 4 goals, including 2 in the semi-final against Croatia. As Messi's perfect partner, he was a driving force behind their success. Without Alvarez's contributions, it's hard to imagine Argentina lifting that trophy. You can see how much Manchester City misses him. Last season, he played 54 games, scoring 19 goals and providing 13 assists. Time and again, he bailed City out of tough spots. showing his class at pivotal moments. His versatility was incredible. Whether as a central striker or out wide, he complemented Haaland perfectly. When Kevin De Bruyne was injured, Alvarez stepped up in style, playing in as a central attacking midfield role. Far from his usual natural position, he delivered performances that showcased his intelligence and adaptability. Though he's a pure number 9 at heart, his ability to thrive in different roles showed just how special he is. Alvarez played a huge part in City's success last season. They won the Premier League and reached the FA Cup final, with Alvarez consistently delivering in big games. His ability to rise to the occasion solidified his reputation as one of football's most dynamic and impactful forwards. Now, Atletico Madrid and Alvarez has hit the ground running. After a brief adjustment period, he's been on fire. A brace against the Sparta Prague in the Champions League.
Alvarez!
A goal and assist against Real Valladolid, and the winner against Mallorca. All highlight just how quickly he's finding his feet in Simone's system. He's a perfect fit. Alvarez isn't just a goal scorer, he's a relentless worker. His pressing off the ball is tireless, embodying the high-intensity and no-nonsense style that defines Atletico under Simone. Versatile, clinical, and hard-working, he's the ideal player for this team. Then there's the partnership between Alvarez and Griezmann, which is electric, by the way. Their movements are in perfect sync, with Alvarez's creativities and Griezmann's playmaking elevating Atletico's attack to new heights. Alvarez has been a phenomenal addition to the squad. He's exactly the kind of player Atletico needs to compete for both La Liga and the Champions League. But Atletico Madrid didn't just stop with Alvarez. They also brought in Alexander Sørloth from Villarreal. And let me tell you, this guy is a game changer. Standing a towering 6'5", he's an absolute nightmare for defenders, especially in the air. With his height and incredible heading ability, he gives Atletico a completely different dimension up front. Now picture this. Atletico can launch the ball into the box and Sørloth is there, ready to dominate in the air. He's not just about scoring headers though. He's excellent at holding up the ball and creating opportunities for Griezmann and Alvarez to thrive around him. And when it comes to finishing, Sørloth delivers. Remember that clutch goal against Getafe? That's the kind of weapon Simone now has at his disposal. And lately, he's been coming up huge with those late-game goals. I'll get to how he's been doing this in a bit. But first, you see that subscribe button to Kicks with Seb? Hit it if you haven't yet to get more content like this. It's almost like Simone has brought Sørloth in just for those big moments when the game is on the line. Typically, Griezmann and Alvarez start up top, but Sørloth feels like Simone's secret weapon. A player who brings chaos and unpredictability to the attack, keeping defenders guessing. But Simone didn't stop there. Atletico also made moves to strengthen their midfield and defense. One of the most surprising transfers was Conor Gallagher from Chelsea. English players don't often head to Spain, but Gallagher was the perfect fit for Simone's system. He's tireless, versatile, and aggressive, a player who can dominate in the middle of the park or even operate out wide. Gallagher wasted no time making an impact. He scored his first goal in a 3-0 win over Valencia, and since then he's been on fire. Gallagher has brought energy, goals, and relentless pressing into Atletico's midfield. This transfer has been a win for everyone involved. Gallagher's getting the minutes he deserves, and Atletico have found a player that embodies their fighting spirit. On the defensive side, Robin Lenormand was an absolute rock for Atletico until that unfortunate injury against Real Madrid. However, it's not just the new signings making waves. Some of Atletico's established stars are having seasons to remember. While all the talk has been about Mbappé at Real Madrid or Barcelona's resurgence of Hansi Flick, Atletico Madrid is right there in the thick of the title race. Or should we say, on top of the table right now. And leading the charge is none other than Antoine Griezmann. Griezmann is on fire this season, reminding everyone why he's one of the most underrated players of the last decade. He's not just scoring goals, he's setting up the entire attack. His vision and pinpoint passing are absolutely essential to Atletico's play. Just think about his performance against Liga. It was vintage Griezmann. Moments like these show why he's one of Atletico's all-time greats. Leaving for Barcelona felt like a misstep in hindsight. He missed out on that La Liga title with Atletico, and it seemed to derail his career for a while. But now, he's reminding everyone just how special he is. And what about Rodrigo de Paul? Yet another Argentinian World Cup winner making a huge impact. De Paul is exactly the kind of player that Simone loves. Aggressive, relentless, and always composed under pressure. He's a midfield engine, winning the ball back and finding the perfect pass. That assist to Soroth against Alvarez? Pure class. De Paul is a player every manager dreams of having, but every opponent dreads of facing. He never stops pressing, never stops battling. He's a warrior through and through. And then there's Giuliano Simone, Diego's own son, making a name for himself. His goal in the 2-0 win over Las Palmas was a special moment. Simone insists he treats Giuliano like any other player. But you can't help imagine how proud he must be watching his son succeed at Atletico. At the back, Jose Maria Gimenez has been solid. Injuries have always been his problem in the past, but when he's fit, he's one of the best defenders in La Liga, a true leader, a warrior, and exactly the kind of no-nonsense player who excels in Simone's system. Atletico Madrid have everything they need to make a serious run at La Liga title. The perfect mix of youth and experience, grit and flair. They're aggressive, hardworking, and full of quality. Simone has built a team that's more than just competitive. It's a real force. This season is going to be something special. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like and hit the subscribe button for more content like this.